IAE 2954 has come to a close, and the Crusader Industries Intrepid has made its debut onto the live servers. Unfortunately, even after a lot of discussion, the Intrepid has found itself coming in at a price of $65 compared to the $60 of the Avenger Titan. As starter ships, we do know that both of these ships will regularly go on sale with the game package, so I'll be ignoring that price for the sake of this comparison. At this price then, which one should a new player be looking to own? Hello folks, Space Tech here, and welcome to a detailed breakdown of the Crusader Intrepid versus the Avenger Titan. I've made a full review about the Intrepid recently, so I'll link that down below, but this video will compare the highlights and specifics of how and where these ships compare. I will be looking at a variety of features that a new player may be interested in, like interiors, DPS, components, and more, so feel free to jump around to sections that interest you the most. If by the end you enjoyed this video, a like and subscribe is always appreciated. Let's start with a brief overview of the layout of the two ships. Starting with the Avenger Titan, this ship has an extremely Spartan layout comprised of only 3 rooms. The first is its main cargo room and grid. This area can be filled with a total of 8 SCU. The wide area allows you to fit a variety of different vehicles. This includes the bikes like the Hover Quad, Nox, and more than one of the Mirai Pulse. If wheeled vehicles are more your speed, then you can even cruise around in a PTV the next time you approach a bunker. We'll talk more about the flexibility of this cargo grid later. Moving forward, we have our living quarters. It's probably a little bit generous to call it a room, but we do have some components, a bed, and a fire extinguisher for the upcoming engineering gameplay. Finally, we have our cockpit. It's worth noting that there are 2 ways to enter the pilot seat. The first is here from the back, but the Titan also gives you the ability to get into the pilot seat directly from the ground in the case that your cargo hold is full, or if you need to make a quick getaway from a location. Next, the Crusader Intrepid. This ship is 3 meters longer, a whopping 5 meters wider, and around the same height as the Titan. Around the back, we have 2 buttons that will allow us to drop down the cargo racks. On the left side, we have our main entrance. Stepping inside, the years of experience that CIG has gained between the 2 ships are immediately obvious. In front of us, we have a spacious living quarters, complete with a kitchen, dining area, and a bed. You also get some important gameplay-centric features like a weapon rack and a suit locker. This is something that's going to become really valuable as swapping armor to get bonuses is finally implemented in-game. Back in the main corridor, we have a fire extinguisher on the wall that we can grab before heading into the engineering and cargo room. Here, we have our components and 2 separate cargo grids that can be dropped down to the ground outside. Each of these can be filled with 4 SCU of cargo and can even be used as an escape path in the case of an emergency. Finally, we have our cockpit in the front. All in all, only 2 doors to get to the cockpit is pretty amazing for a Crusader ship. As starter ships, the new player experience is what is most important to consider. A big part of that is how the ship performs in a variety of game loops. One of the very first game loops that any citizen is bound to try is combat, so let's see how these 2 ships compare. First, damage. This is where we are going to see by far the biggest difference in the performance of these 2 ships. The Crusader Intrepid did come with a size 3 at some point, but was luckily upgraded to a size 4 before it released onto the live servers. Unfortunately, that's all it got. 1 size 4 laser repeater. The Avenger Titan does come with a size 4 Gatling gun by default, in addition to 2 size 3 laser cannons. I really enjoy the default of having both ballistics and laser weapons on the Avenger, because it serves as a great introduction to new players learning the differences between the 2 damage types and when to use them. Of course, the raw DPS output of the 2 ships is also of great importance, so let's swap everything to attrition laser repeaters to flatten out the playing field and understand the different experiences. The Avenger Titan will have a total of 1900 sustained DPS, accounting for its capacitor and reload times. For just 1 clip, you get a burst DPS of 2750. Compare this to the Intrepid, which will output a total of 815 sustained DPS and just about 1200 burst. As you can see, the Titan is going to end up destroying enemy ships over twice as fast, even without the use of multiple weapon types. While that might not mean much when engaging Mustangs or Auroras, even medium-level combat missions are going to have you fighting for a long time before the Intrepid disables a medium-sized ship. In addition, the Intrepid comes with only 2 size 1 missiles, a paltry loadout compared to the 4 size 2s that come on the Titan. With just 2 missiles, you can bet that a new player is going to waste the first 3 times that go out just trying to figure out how to use missiles correctly. That's not all, however. New players are not coming into the game with all the flight skills of an experienced citizen. That means that they're going to get shot. A lot. So what does the durability of the 2 ships look like? The best place to start is with the shields. The Titan comes with 2 size 1 shields. These can be upgraded to provide a total of 4500 HP. The Intrepid, on the other hand, comes with only one size 1 shield, giving you half, or around 2250 HP. This is a massive difference, especially for a new player who's going to be most impacted by repair costs. Speaking of which, the Intrepid does come with more hull HP in total, but both ships will go into a soft death state if either their nose or their body takes 2500 damage. Of course, a vital component of both offense and defense is maneuverability. The Avenger Titan has an SCM speed of 260 with a boost up to 610. The Intrepid comes in below that with just 227 max speed that goes up to 455 with boost. Even in nav mode, the Titan wins with a max speed of 1425 compared to 1225 on the Intrepid. As you can see here, the Titan is going to have an easier time engaging and controlling distance between itself and would-be attackers. It doesn't even end there though. The Avenger Titan also outmaneuvers the Intrepid in roll, pitch, and yaw while actively engaged in combat situations. No matter the way you slice it, the Titan is faster and more maneuverable than the Intrepid, all while presenting a smaller target. So for combat, I think it's no contest at all. The Avenger Titan soundly beats the Intrepid in every single category across the board. I'm just happy that the Intrepid combat isn't as painful as it was when it had a size 3. Another popular game loop for beginners may be cargo. Here, I think both ships perform really well. 8 SCU is on the higher end for starter ships of this size. You should easily be able to get your feet wet with either ship. Of course, box missions are no issue at all either. Personally, I do still prefer the cargo hold of the Titan for 2 reasons. The first is versatility. Having a cargo hold that is 2 SCU wide allows you to actually carry 4 SCU boxes. It doesn't matter that much at this level of cargo, but the flexibility is welcome. Another marginal improvement of the combined grid is the ability to load and unload just a little bit faster, because you only need to open and close a single door compared to 2. Where the larger cargo hold is actually most useful though, is for our final beginner game loop, bunker running. These missions involve going down to a planet's surface to go down to a bunker and engage in FPS combat. These bunkers will often have hostile turrets placed outside that will shoot at your ship as you approach. While you can always shoot at the turrets to disable them and then go stroll into the bunker, this is not always viable, especially with only a single size 4. My preferred method of attack has always been to park out of range and then use a hoverbike or wheeled vehicle to get to the bunker under the radar. Unfortunately, the Intrepid's cargo bay is inaccessible while on a hoverbike. While you can tractor beam one in, it just isn't the same and invites a lot of jankiness and bugs. Eventually, the gun racks and armor locker will make the Intrepid a really awesome ship for bunker running, but I think we're going to be waiting a long time to see that implemented in game. In addition, if bunker running is your only game loop, there's nothing quite like the Pisces C8R with its ability to respawn you just outside the bunker when you die. The last consideration for a starter ship is convenience. This is essentially a measure of how easy it is to just get going with the gameplay you want to achieve for the day. One part of that is claim time and cost. New players are going to be dying a lot, so being able to recall your ship and not just stand around a station forever is key to an enjoyable starter experience. Here, I'm happy to report that both the Intrepid and the Titan can be claimed in just under 90 seconds with around 2000 aUEC. The other factor is fuel capacity. Jumping across Stanton with a size 1 drive is painful enough without also having to stop midway to get refueled. This is the Intrepid's greatest strength. With the fastest drive in the verse equipped, the Intrepid is able to make any jump in Stanton without refueling with a max range of 85.7 GM. The Titan, on the other hand, only has a range of 35.7 GM when equipped with the same drive. This would mean that you're unable to even make the jump from Crusader to Microtech. In fact, the very fastest drive that still makes that jump in the Titan will take almost 6 minutes compared to just 4 with the Intrepid. With the introduction of Pyro, we're going to see these jumps get even longer. In all honesty, I worry for the quality of life for starter ships as a whole in Pyro. It may end up being the case that starter ships should generally stay out of Pyro for the most part if the only alternative is to refuel 5 times before you can even get to your mission. The Intrepid is the obvious choice to explore Pyro, at least if you don't intend on purchasing a larger ship in-game first. So which ship would I recommend to a new player? I think overall, the Avenger Titan just gives a new player more opportunities to experience new gameplay loops. Using the Titan will allow a new player to make mistakes more and try gameplay that may not be as lucrative financially because they won't feel the pressure to upgrade their ship as quickly as they would in an Intrepid. Of course, your daily driver should be the ship that you enjoy flying every day. The Intrepid's fantastic interior will provide that experience for a lot of new players. If RP and prep for Pyro is important to you, then the Intrepid is probably what you're looking for. On the other hand, if pure utility is the most important, the Titan is your answer at somehow a cheaper price than the Intrepid. So which starter would you pick if you were brand new to the game? Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.